Naam Sankirtan ki. So today we'll be discussing on the 31st verse of Bhagavad Gita. So, what we'll do is we'll read the shloka, translation, and we'll discuss the purport. But before that, we'll do the Mangalachara. ओमज्ञानतिमिरस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापतिं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु श्री गुरुदेव श्री वासुदेव गौरभक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे. So today we'll discuss the same shloka as well as the commentary of 31st only, right? We won't be taking the commentaries of shloka, which is the 32nd one at least. So I'll recite the shloka, word to word meaning, translation, and then we'll later on. What we'll do is we'll revise first that whatever was discussed in the last class, and We'll ask them about the commentaries regarding the 31st verse itself. सर्वभूतस्थितं यो मां भजति एकत्वमास्थितः सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि स योगी मयि वर्तते. What word mean? Sarvabhutashthitam, situated in everyone's heart. Yaha, he who, mam, me, bhajati, serves in devotional service. Ekatvam, in oneness. Asthitaha, situated. Sarvatha, in all respects. Vartamanaha, being situated. Api, in spite of. Saha, he, yogi, the transcendentalist. Mai, in me. Vartate, remains. Translation. Such a yogi who engages in the worshipful service of the Supersoul, knowing that I and the Supersoul are one, remains always in me in all circumstances. Purport. A yogi who is practicing meditation on the Supersoul sees within himself the plenary portion of Krishna as Vishnu, with four hands holding conch shell, wheel, club, and lotus flower. The yogi should know that Vishnu is not different from Krishna. Krishna in this form of Supersoul is situated in everyone's heart. Furthermore, there is no difference between the innumerable Supersouls present in the innumerable hearts of living entities. Nor is there a difference between a Krishna conscious person always engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna and a perfect yogi engaged in meditation on the Supersoul. The yogi in Krishna consciousness, even though he may be engaged in various activities while in material existence, remains always situated in Krishna. This is confirmed in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Srila Rupa Goswami. Akhilasvapyavasthasu jivan muktasa uchyate. A devotee of Lord, always acting in Krishna consciousness, is automatically liberated. In the Narada Pancharatra, this is confirmed in this way. Dikkaladi anavichine Krishna cheto vidhaya cha tanmayo bhavati shipram jivo brahmani yoje. By concentrating one's attention on the transcendental form of Krishna, who is all pervading and beyond time and space, one becomes absorbed in thinking of Krishna and then attains the happy state of transcendental association with him. Krishna consciousness is the highest stage of trance in yoga practice. This very understanding that Krishna is present as Paramatma in everyone's heart makes the yogi faultless. The Vedas, Gopal Tapani Upanishad 1.21 confirm this inconceivable potency of the Lord as follows. Eko api sarvahuda yog avabhati. Although the Lord is one, he is present in innumerable hearts as many. Similarly, in the Smriti Shastra it is said, Eka eva paro Vishnu sarvavyapi na samshaya aishwaryadrupam ekam cha suryavat bahudayate. Vishnu is one, and yet he is certainly all-pervading. By his inconceivable potency, in spite of his one form, he is present everywhere, as the sun appears in many places at once. So, if anyone could share points from the last class, I mean, it will be like not sharing practically. You all would be giving a lecture on because we are having the same verse, 31st. We are not taking anything new. So, anyone remembers anything? If they are not looking at whatever notes Krishna Prabhu has sent on WhatsApp, that is. But if we are looking at those notes, everyone can at least share one point. Anyone from online? I mean, yes, Rahul Prabhu is telling, but the thing is, Rahul Prabhu, you'll have to write and I'll read it because the speaker of laptop is not working. So better you write it down in the comment section. So I'll just summarize kind of whatever I remember from the last class that Prabhuji was talking about kind of how everyone, because this is actually this particular shloka is talking about Krishna in the feature of Paramatma, right? So we all are having Paramatma inside us, the soul and super soul. So what we see and what we discussed last time was that every one of us has Paramatma. Similarly, we all have our own Krishnas. It's not that when we come for the darshan in the temple, let's say. So one might see on Janmashtami days, temple is full. And what happens is you might not get a chance to stand right in front of Shri Shri Radharaj Bihari's altar. Now, sometimes someone would be near Narsimhadev, someone would be at Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman's altar, someone on Shri Shri Gaurnita's altar. So we all think, that we are unable to have darshan of Shri Shri Radharaj. Alright? That is what we think. But what we see here, that Krishna in the form of Paramatma is within everyone's heart. So what we discussed was that each and everyone has our own Krishna, right? Our own version, our own super soul. That's the whole point. We always think, that what if we go back to, the spiritual world and we find there is, only one Krishna is there. So how will you focus on each and every living entity? Because right now we are in this universe, and if someone is traveling by local on Sundays or, going to office work on an opposite route, they see so many people packed, and we are not able to focus. Just imagine innumerable universes, innumerable galaxies, and in the spiritual world, this is just 1/4 practically the material existence, and everyone is there in the spiritual world. So we'll think then the probability of us meeting with Krishna is very slim, kind of practically impossible. But that is not the case. Krishna is unlimited. That is what even the Shastras say. That is the whole point. Even in this shloka, if you see, Srila Prabhupada has quoted at least 3 Shastra: Smriti Shastra, Gopal Tapni Upanishad, as well as he has quoted Bhakti Rasamrita. And one more example is there, right? So some people doubt or think, just in the small book Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says that even if one understands one shloka or the whole Bhagavad Gita, first Prabhupada starts with whole Bhagavad Gita, then even one shloka, then even one line, and then he says even one word of this Bhagavad Gita will be liberated. So that is the reason, each and every word present in this Bhagavad Gita is, kind of having so much potency behind it. And also to understand this particular example that, Krishna is omnipotent, kind of. Not even as Paramatma, let's say. If one wants to have a practical example, or, he wants to see something which is kind of much more feasible. So the devotees who are reading Krishna book, I guess we are having a schedule where we read Krishna book online, right? So they can join in our reading session also if someone is, not knowing about it. So we see when Lord Krishna, he had in total of 16,108 queens, right, in Dwaraka. And when Narad Muni, he went to have darshan of Lord Krishna there in Dwaraka. So what did Lord do? He made 16,108 palaces for each and every queen, right? With its own garden, everything was, specific that personally they had their own set of cows, their own set of elephants and everything. And what happened was when Narad Muni went, he just went to see, what is Lord Krishna doing. So he went in one palace, and what he saw was that Lord Krishna was sleeping, still sleeping. And then he wakes up, does his all, morning, what we can say, ceremonies, whatever one needs to do, purificatory ceremonies. And he sits down for Gayatri and everything, whatever a Grihastha does. And then when he sees Narad Muni, he welcomes him. And then what he does is the way one should treat a Brahmana, that is shown. So I won't go in detail. But then what does Narad Muni again do? He said, right now he's here, how is he managing the another palace? Let's see. So when he goes there, again what he sees that Lord Krishna is kind of engaged in another activity. Right? And then he goes to another palace. Now one may think, it's 16,108 palace. There's so much distance, such a big thing where elephants are kept, and it's such a big garden. So Narad Muni, he had something what we say, he was an astral traveler. He used to travel in the spaces. He can go from one planet to another like this. So for him, traveling from one palace to another was not difficult. He could go, in a very instant, he could be from this palace to that palace. So Prabhupada gives this example in that particular, pastime of the Lord, wherein he says that there are even yogis who have this, particular siddhi. They can expand themselves in multiple forms. But then how is Lord different from them? One may question, that this particular thing expanding oneself is, of even present in human beings, one who's kind of conditioned souls. But achieving that perfection is not an easy feat, first of all. And the second is there is a limitation of expansion. Right? That's the most important point. That a yogi can expand himself in a certain, or we can say, in a specific number. His expansion can be limited, let's say 7 or 9. That's what I'm confused in. And only that number of expansions he can have. And another thing is that whatever the original one, whatever action the original one is performing, all the expansions would perform the same. It is not like, let's say, if one yogi is sitting and another yogi you will find, he is going on yatra or somewhere. No, he will also be sitting. So the 7 of them will be sitting only. There will be no difference, kind of, if you look in that manner. But here, if we see, Lord is, engaging in different activities at different palaces. So this is what, kind of proves. And there are many other instances where you see, recently we are going through the 10th canto, 59th chapter in our morning Bhagavatam class. So we see of Queen Satya's marriage, right? So just to, kind of have her hand or take Queen Satya, there was a condition which was put by her father is to conquer 7 hefty bull. So just to conquer them, what did Lord do? He expanded himself in 7 forms, kind of. And it also has, another meaning. That was, Queen Satya, she was the queen of the Lord. But she thought, there are other queens also. Will Lord be able to kind of, focus upon me or not? So Krishna kind of, just vanquishing her doubt that, no, it is not like that I'm already having the queens, so I won't be able to focus on you. So let me show you. So he expands himself. Each and every one of you will have your own Krishna. That's the whole point. So this is one point which I could share. Rest already devotees could share. We'll take it, somewhere 15-20 minutes. And I'll kind of read this whole thing, and commentaries we can take later on. The same commentaries, anyone can come, read, share their realizations. And then in the last, I'll speak something related to book distribution. Right? Any devotee with any points? Or I'll start with the commentaries if no one is having any point. You can read and tell. That is also one thing, because Prabhupada used to say, what is the intelligence in Kali Yuga? It's not smriti, it's pen and paper. But in today's world, even pen and paper are replaced by mobile phones, notepads, right? The applications which we have in our phone. And there's also more concession since, this is Kali Yuga. It's an age of concession. Lord Chaitanya has also given concession. So you all can look at the notes on WhatsApp also and at least share that. So that is also one concession that you all have, right? So in the meantime, you all are searching, I'll just read this I'll just take 1 or 2 points and expand on this. So if you see here, the Lord is saying what in the purport, or Srila Prabhupada is saying, and this purport only. Why did I, say Lord and then Srila Prabhupada? Because Srila Prabhupada used to say that my books, they are directly kind of Krishna was telling me and I was writing. These books are written by Krishna himself. Okay? So whatever we are reading, just imagine that you are just sitting and hearing it from Krishna. With me as a medium. And Srila Prabhupada is also saying the same thing. So I'm just speaking whatever is written over here. Right? So here first of all the Paramatma feature is explained in the first thing, and then there's this common confusion which people think that Vishnu and Krishna are different. But Srila Prabhupada says what? That yogi should know that Vishnu is not different from Krishna, because that is what they are meditating upon, the 400 form of Lord Vishnu, right? The Paramatma feature. What is there? There are 4 hands with a conch shell, wheat, love and lotus flower. So that is a yogi's business, right? And but in Bhakti Yoga, what we do? What is our main business? As a Bhakti Yogi, anyone who would like to share? I mean, we all are doing Bhakti Yoga, right? Yes. Krishna Prem is activity. I'm talking about the activity. See, serving the transcendental living. Yes. But if you see, then Shravanam, Kirtanam, these are all different limbs of processes, which are utilized. This is overall in yoga that if you look at it. But what is the specific one? What we are doing? Service attitude, right? So Srila Prabhupada also writes the same thing, in the section of Bharat Maharaj. If we read, which is 5th canto, somewhere around 8th chapter. So in that, Prabhupada says that one can give up each and every process of devotional service, even philosophical speculation. Right now, if we see, when we are not mature in devotional service, we are just reading it. So sometimes we contemplate, this word means this might mean this, or this pastime means this. So that also comes under the consideration of philosophical speculation, because right now we are just speculating. Since we are fortunate enough that we have got Srila Prabhupada's commentaries, that's why we can understand it, because Srila Prabhupada is explaining just his father explaining to his child. But Prabhupada is saying is that they can give each and every process, but what they can't give up is transcendental loving service, or the devotional service is something that must be kept, or that one should never give up. That's the whole point, whole and soul of it. So Rahul Prabhupada shared, that this was the same thing that we discussed. Sorry, Rahul Prabhupada shared your point already. Mother Satya, like how Lord Krishna expanded and kind of defeated the bulls. And another point also we will take. There were many points. I'll just see and expand these things. And there's another thing that Prabhuji was talking about, that why do we discuss these commentaries? There are so many acharyas giving so many commentaries. Why are we discussing these commentaries? If someone has kind of, attended these sessions or kind of the commentary sessions for a long time, they'll see or they'll observe one thing, that Srila Prabhupada has included each and every point or aspect or the point which the acharya is trying to make in his commentary. That's the whole point. We are not bereft of anything. That's the whole and soul motive of discussing these commentaries, that how fortunate we are that we are getting everything in one, right? We all wait for sales. Sales are coming. Amazon, big or Flipkart, big billion day or something like that. And we think, what better, options or what better deal can we get? So in Kali Yuga, already we have so much concession, wherein offenses made in mind are excused, and any devotional service, even performed in mind, is kind of we can say awarded. We all may think that how unfortunate we are that we are unable to go to temple sometimes, right? If someone is thinking like that. I just heard in one of the lectures today, in which it was said, since it's been long that we have been to Yatra. For me at least, I have not been, so I was always thinking that when will I go at least to Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, or Vrindavan? Well, I was hearing, and this is something which I even hear from the devotees. They say, Prabhuji, it's been so long we have not been to Yatra. So therein it is said that even if one remembers Vrindavan, if one is remembering, it's only, or from what should we take from that is that Srimati Radharani is merciful upon him. If he is remembering, if he is kind of hankering, I want to go to Vrindavan. Because of Srimati Radharani's mercy, we are able to remember the Dham. If we go there, that's another special mercy. But if we are able to remember at least. So just imagine, Prabhupada said that my temples are Vaikunthas on this earth. These are all, these are not normal places. This is spiritual world right now where we are. And Shri Radharas Bihari Mandir. So just imagine any devotee who's hearing online, any devotee who is present here, but some days is not able to come, who's thinking, I want to go to temple at least. So that's the special mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And we all are, indebted. That's the whole point. So anyone would like to share, or should we take the commentaries? And we'll take the same names which are present, skipping Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay. Because I am supposed to give that commentary, but right now taking or kind of shared so many points is better. Sri Ramanujacharya, Om Prakash Prabhu. No, 31st only, 31st only. You come, you read, whatever you all can, kind of remember or you want to share, that's the whole point. Actually, Prabhuji is not well, so that shloka and text we are not taking, we are taking 31st. Okay. So we have our second speaker.
नहीं चले वैसे ही बोल दो। इलेक्शन कर लो ना,
ऐसे बोल दो।
हाँ।
I think that is fine, bro. I should also hear, no? These people will make it.
Hare Krishna. Commentary will 31 same. So reading the commentary of Sri Ramanujacharya. डाला नहीं,
कोई बात नहीं.
The yogi who fits in the state of yoga in oneness because he has the same form of uncontacted knowledge as myself. Worship me steadfastly by renouncing the difference of the prakriti, that is of the body. Then that yogi, even while coming out of yoga, however he may live, use me only when viewing his own self and all other beings. The meaning is that he views his similarity to myself in his own self and in the self of all beings. Now Sri Krishna proceeds to speak of the mature stage beyond this. So here it is said that the yogi worship the Lord steadfastly in by renouncing the difference of the body. That he renounces the bodily activity like enjoying the life, sense gratification, working hard day and night like dogs and cats and horses for the satisfaction of the body. He renounces all these things and engage in the loving service of the Lord to achieve the desired success, which is to go back to Godhead. So in the translation it is also stated that the super soul and Krishna is the same thing. That Krishna expands himself in the form of a super soul in different individuals. Like in the purport, Prabhupada gives the example of a sun. Sun is stated at the one place, but is expanded in the whole world in the form of a sunlight. So Krishna expands himself in the form of a Paramatma. Paramatma. So that is a different realization. There is a three types of realization: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan realization. So here Ramanujacharya said the yogi who understands these things, he worships Krishna steadfastly by renouncing the difference of renouncing the bodily activities, all these things. Deepak Bhatt absent.
We take Sri Madhvacharya's commentary. Gaurav, bro.